we're also following very closely the elections, and we have all sorts of political files that it's a very complex system that you have, and you have something like 86 or 87 parties. That it's also a very beautiful country, and the people are very hospitable and friendly. So I'm very happy to be here. But my main responsibility, as I explained, is political issues. So it is the 11th edition of the Nepal EU Film Festival. It will start on the 28th of October, but I have not had any opportunity to see any Nepalese movies yet. So that's why I'm looking forward to the festival.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, namaste.
Namaste.
I'm very happy to be here today to talk about the 11th edition of the Nepal EU Film Festival.
So, how have you been doing?
Well, I've not been in Nepal for very long. So, in fact, this is one of the first big events that, I'm organizing with my colleagues, and I'm very happy that is the case.
How are you spending your days in Nepal?
Well, there's a lot of work to do. I'm fortunate that we have many different activities, but I have to say that cultural activities is definitely one of my favorites. But we're also following very closely the elections, and we have all sorts of political files that I'm dealing with.
So, how much do you know about the politics of Nepal?
It seems to be very complicated. I've discovered, for example, that the upcoming elections are actually for the federal and provincial level. But first past the post plus proportional representation. It's a very complex system that you have, and you have something like 86 or 87 parties. So I am very impressed with the level of preparation of the elections, and we'll be following this very closely.
So, how are you thinking about Nepal as a country?
Well, Nepal has a very good image, to the extent that many of my friends have said that they will come and visit during my stay in Nepal. And what I've seen so far is that it's also a very beautiful country, and the people are very hospitable and friendly. So I'm very happy to be here.
So, can you please briefly explain us about the program you are here for?
Well, I'm a European diplomat, so this is my first time in Nepal, but it is not my first posting abroad. And the EU delegation, which is basically the embassy of the European Union, has many different activities. So we're running a number of projects in different areas. But my main responsibility, as I explained, is political issues as well as cultural issues. So this is what I do.
So, the program you are here for is film festival, right?
So this is specifically what we're organizing. So it is the 11th edition of the Nepal EU Film Festival. It will start on the 28th of October until the 1st of November in Kathmandu, before we move to Circuit, where the festival will start on the 5th of November until the 8th. And also, this year again, we will be showing the films online from the 28th of October till the end of November. But I have to say we are very, very happy that for the first time in 2 years, we can go back to the cinemas and enjoy cinema going as a collective experience instead of just doing it from home.
So, can you explain why did you choose the place out of Delhi for the festival?
Well, we think it's important to reach out to other parts of the country. Film festivals are extremely useful, we think, to share, a European culture with, Nepalese people. So we're showing 13 European movies and also 3 Nepalese movies, which are very recent. So we think it's such a good experience that we also want to share it with people outside of Kathmandu.
So, how much do you think it will be beneficial for us to exchange the culture between the countries?
Well, it's a form of cultural exchange, and we think that, like all cultural exchanges, it helps promote mutual understanding. So we hope that the people who will come and see our European movies will understand a little bit better, what is happening in Europe, what the challenges are. And I'm sure they will find that many of the challenges that we're facing in Europe, are the same as in Nepal. That people, in some cases, they're struggling to find employment. It's sometimes a bit hard for them to make a living. There are all sorts of societal issues, like the status of women, for example. Or the aspirations of young people. So this is basically what we want to bring to a Nepalese audience.
So, on what basis do you choose films to showcase?
Well, we have a system whereby we have a pool of European films to choose from. And they come with subtitles. I mean, not Nepalese subtitles, but we will be working on that. And then we don't have to deal with the copyright issues and so on and so forth. So this is where we choose, the films from. And it is also because we are organizing such festivals worldwide as well. In my previous postings, we also organize film festivals. So we are trying to cater for the tastes and needs of local audience. But this is to show that this is very much part of our cultural diplomacy efforts.
Is there any initiation to show Nepalese films to the European countries yet?
Well, actually, we will be showing 3 Nepalese movies as part of the festival, and already we're trying to see if it might be possible to bring some of the Nepalese movies to Europe. As you probably know, our headquarters are based in Brussels, where we organize various international festivals. So maybe we can try and take 1 or more Nepalese movies to Brussels, and we can also see in other countries where there are so many film festivals. If we could actually bring some of the festivals as well as directors and actors and actresses from Nepal to a European audience.
Talking about movies, so being personal, how often you watch movies?
Well, actually, I watch movies all the time. I use Netflix a lot. You're gonna have to blur that, of course. And I have to admit that I'm rather ignorant of Nepalese cinema, but I'm looking forward to discovering.
Have
your
you watched
cinema.
any of Nepalese movies?
No, not one. I can't think of one at all.
Uh-huh.
Recently I watched a film from Bhutan. It's called Yak in the Classroom, but I have not had any opportunity to see any Nepalese movies yet. So that's why I'm looking forward to the festival.
As you said, you spend a lot of time watching Netflix. You can get 14 Peaks there on Netflix, and Aftershock, it's about the earthquake and its effects on
Yes,
Nepalese
yes.
society.
I have not watched that one yet because I think it might be scary. But
No, it's not, but it's educative and it gives knowledge about how were the life of Nepalese that time.
okay, so I will definitely watch it. But when I'm in Europe, I also go to the cinema a lot because I like it as an experience. And I go to the cinema with my family. I go to the cinema with my friends, and it's normally a very joyful experience, and then we can talk about it afterwards. So it's
course.
very good. Yeah.
I'm looking forward for that day to talk with you about Nepalese film only.
Okay, thank you.
So, how are you spending your time living here?
Well, I've tried to start traveling a little. So to start with, I ventured near Kathmandu. I've been to Bhaktapur and Nagarkot, and during TR I will be traveling to Pokhara. So I will stop in Gorkha and Bandipur. And in fact, I've just returned from a mission in Province 1 and Madhesh Province as well. And it was just so beautiful. I mean, it was just incredibly beautiful. So I was very happy about that too.
Okay, so despite of movies, cinemas, and Netflix, what do you think there's the entertaining medium in Nepal, except those things?
I don't know yet. I've only been here 1 month, but I also enjoy, going to restaurants and watching. I mean, there's nothing I like more than watching people go by and just observing what people do and how they go about their own lives. So that's basically what I've done so far, and also reading, of course, some of the Nepalese newspapers, but I haven't watched Nepalese television, for example.
So, is there anything you loved about Nepal specifically in this stay of 1 month?
Yeah, I just like the atmosphere, and as I said, I like the people, and when I have the chance to get out of Kathmandu, I really like the countryside. So yeah, I'm not suggesting that we'll go trekking on Everest, but
Something like
I
that.
can walk a little bit. Yes, thank you.
So, coming to the topic we're talking about previously, the audience of Nepal has not been aware of the film festivals and its subsidy policies. So, can you explain about the policies or the way you nominate the films to show in the festivals?
Well, as I explained, we've got a pool of films to choose from.
On what basis do you choose films?
Well, with the help of my colleagues, Nepalese colleagues, we are trying to find films that would appeal to a Nepalese audience. In the past years, we had more of an overall theme. This year, it's just, I think, a celebration of cultural diversity. So if there was one theme that, we should retain, that would be, cultural diversity.
Talking about culture, so have you explored any of culture of Nepalese society yet?
Such as, give me one example.
Such as, have you celebrated Dasai because you were here in the festival?
Well, I didn't celebrate myself, but I've seen it being celebrated.
how
We
did
were
you
in
feel?
Bhaktapur, at the time, and as I said, we've been in Pokhara for TR, so it's always very colourful. Of course, some other aspects of the festival, like some of the animal sacrifices are a little bit strange, but on the whole, it seems to be a very joyful experience.
Are you enjoying staying in Nepal?
Yes, very much so. Yeah, and my children will be visiting for Christmas, so we'll spend Christmas here with our children. Yeah.
So, what are your upcoming plans while staying here?
Well, I'll just continue my voyage of discovery. I mean, already, as we've mentioned, I have to learn more about Nepalese cinema. I would like to also I will have to find out more about Nepalese politics, and then very important, Nepalese cooking. I'm very fortunate because my husband is a very good cook. Actually, even before we left Europe, he bought 2 Nepalese cookbooks that we've traveled with, and so he's also experimenting Nepalese cooking, and we might be able to do some cooking classes as well.
Okay, so what is the food you are enjoying here the most?
Well, I actually love dal. I've always loved dal, so I'm very impressed that it comes in many
Varieties?
varieties and colors, and I've also discovered momos, and I think there again the variety is amazing. So we might start with a cooking course on how to make momos from scratch. So next time you interview me, maybe I will bring some samples.
Handmade momos.
Yes.
I would love to eat. So coming to the end of this program, is there anything you want Nepalese audience to know about the delegation of European Film Festival?
Yes, I mean just to reiterate what I've said, which is we see culture as an essential part of our foreign diplomacy in order to promote understanding and also we think that culture can, because it promotes understanding within a given society, but also between countries, can help, promote peace, and this is basically what we would like to achieve.
So best wishes for your motive and trying to explore the cultures, cinemas of different countries. And thank you for joining us and giving us your precious time.
Well, thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.